Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thousands of memories are created and captured in each photo taken on your magical vacation. We proudly present Capturing Magic, where we help those moments live on forever.
Hey everyone, welcome to Capturing Magic, where we are using technology to create and capture magic memories. This is episode 7, recorded on Tuesday, November 20th. You can find more tips, tools, and notes for this show at capturingmagic.me. I'm Steph, and I will be your host today, and I am joined by my co-host, Brittney Leavitt, who can be found at BritishDesigns.com, where she creates Disney-ish digital scrapbook supplies and other goodies too. Hi, Brittney.
Hi, Steph. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for being here again.
Sure.
And it feels like forever for some reason, but it hasn't really been that long since we've recorded, but it feels like. Yeah, I know. I'm just rusty already. I need to be doing this more often, I guess.
I guess so.
We have joining us today for the first time, Heather Winfield, who is on the capturingmagic.me team, and she is an in-house Disney expert. We're really excited to have her joining us. Hi, Heather.
Hi, I'm really excited.
Thank you. And you can be found at heatherw.com, right?
Yeah, I have a character site there that's Disney related, so.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit and tell our listeners about it. If they go to heatherw.com/character, you have kind of a log there of all of the characters that you've met over the years.
Yeah, I don't know, just one day I decided I just feel like having this site for all the characters I've met, because I keep lists and everything like that, but I just thought it would be fun, and I don't know how many people would really visit it because it's pictures of me with the characters, but I just thought it'd be a fun thing, and because I have a lot of people that say, have you met this character? Have you, where do you see this character? And so I just have it listed and all the times when and where and all the different outfits. I love meeting them in their different outfits. And yeah, so it's a fun little thing. I will have to update it now that I just got back.
That's right. You just got back last night from Disney World.
Yeah, it's so weird. I was just there yesterday. Now it just feels like it was a while ago. I don't know why. It's like that after a trip. It's yesterday. I was at Disney, and now I'm sitting in the kitchen.
Yeah. It's the re-entry factor. You forget what day it is. Life is so hard to get back to when you're re-entering from Disney, I think.
Yeah, I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah. We're really glad you remembered to show up today, though, Heather.
I was on the plane, and I was taking notes to remember for the podcast.
That's really good.
I can't believe we got you to come the day.
I know. It was arm twisting on my part, I think.
It's the hardest day, the day you get back.
Well, I was just there for the weekend, so it's not as, out of it as I normally would be.
Right, after a long trip. And
then 2 weeks from today, I'm going to be at Disneyland for my first time. So, yay. So that kind of helped with the, I always had a post-Disney depression, and it gets worse. The more I go, the worse that gets. So
really, it doesn't help?
No.
That's not good to hear.
I thought it would help too, but it does. It makes it worse. And it's now I'm going to go again. We're going to go again.
So tell us how many different characters you've met, because it's really interesting to me.
Well, I've met 3 new ones this trip, so now I'm at 158.
Wow. Who did you meet this trip that was new to you?
I met Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope, and I try not to meet characters that I don't know, they have preschool characters.
Right.
And I don't meet them just to meet them, but this trip we were, it was a strange trip because it was really last minute, and, I didn't have that much planned, so we were just at Hollywood Studios. It was basically just to meet Wreck-It Ralph that day, and I knew I didn't have dinner until a while, so I was what else can I do that I don't have to wait 2 hours for? And because it was crowded, and Jake the pirate from the kids show, so he was out there and there was no one there, so I was okay, I'll go meet him. So that was the other new character.
Oh, he's cute.
Really he's so cute.
Yeah, he's
I knew he had that he had that with the movie with Peter Pan,
Jake and the Neverland Pirates. It's a it's a show.
Yeah, and then he did have that movie with Peter Pan, and then it's all kind of tied into Peter Pan, so it's not too too toddlerish, I guess.
It wasn't like the Einstein character or something, because that I wouldn't know anything about.
Right.
But at least it's like, I saw your movie with Peter Pan, and he was cute. So that was another new character that I met. So
that's just 158 characters. That doesn't count all their different outfits and everything.
No, that's why.
Holy cow!
I keep track. I have it's crazy how I keep lists, and I have everything tracked down, and it's a little overkill. But yeah, I've all the different times I met them in different outfits, and that doesn't include if I meet the cast members or the street performers or something. I don't count that in my number. I have that on my site, but that's not in that
total number.
Yeah. So this trip, I know Britt saw, I met Mary Poppins in her nanny outfit, the red coat and the hat. And
oh, fun.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. I was so jealous.
I was freaking out about it because I didn't know this until about a year ago, that if it's too cold, she comes out in that outfit. And I've been at the Magic Kingdom when it's freezing, and I didn't know this. So I was hoping that I would have a day where it was cold, so I'd be able to meet her in that. And because it was kind of chilly, especially at night. But then on our last day when we woke up, and I'm like, oh, it's really cold. And then I thought, oh my goodness, Mary Poppins might be out in that outfit. So I made sure I went to the Magic Kingdom that day. And
gosh.
And I was even asking the cast members, what outfit was she out in today? And I don't think he had any idea what I was talking about. But
he's like, outfit.
And I think he said, oh, well, she wasn't in her, jolly holiday thing. I was like, yeah. So I was the first one there, obviously. She's in a weird area, so people don't really know that she's there. And even after I met, there's only a couple other people. And it was funny because there were, it was really crowded. That was yesterday. And so this is now the start of Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
So it's, Dumbo is 100-minute wait. It's crazy. But so there's a whole ton of people, but where she is, there was no one. And there were this family, and they were sitting there playing checkers or something. And I think my mom was like, Mary Poppins is over there. And they just started, oh my goodness. And they saw her, she said, it's outfit. They were screaming and running over. But
very cool. That's very cool. Well, we will have you back on another time to give us lots of tips and tricks. It was hard for me to decide which topic to have you talk with us about today.
Characters all day.
Well, yeah. I love to hear about it. Especially, I love characters, and so
me too.
Yeah. So it was hard for me to decide which topic to have you address, but I think I decided to do the holidays since we're right at the beginning of the holiday season, and I know there are a lot of people planning trips because I keep getting email questions from people that are headed to the parks in just a couple of weeks. So I thought it would be great to cover some of the fun magic memories that can be created and captured during the holidays at Disney World. So that's a big topic. But I'm really excited because I'm going to be headed down there in a couple of weeks as well. And so I'm excited to hear what you have to say about some of the different things. Let's talk about maybe some of the different parks. What were you able to hit in that short time that you were down there? What have you done in the past that you've really loved?
Well,
for the holidays.
Yeah, for the holidays, yes.
Yeah, there is so much. The great thing about the holidays at Disney World is you don't even have to go to a park to really be in the holiday, spirit, because all the resorts do everything, downtown does everything. So, do you want to do my favorite things? Should
we do those first? Do you want to do those? Would that be easier if we start with your top 10 list?
Yeah, I don't want to keep talking about the same thing and keep going.
Okay, let's do your top 10 list then. Okay.
Well, I think the best thing, in my opinion anyway, is the castle lighting.
Yeah.
That's something I think, you can take as many pictures as you want. You could have, the best video, and nothing is going to do it justice. The castle's lit in, icicles, and they have a little castle lighting show where it's Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald, and they come out and they say, oh, everything's so beautifully decorated, but the castle's not. And they come up with all different ways that they could decorate the castle. And then the fairy godmother comes out and says, I think it should be Cinderella who decides. And then Cinderella and Prince Charming come out, and she wants the castle to look like her shoes, which are sparkly and beautiful. And I can't even describe it, how they slowly light up the castle. And I don't think there's a dry eye watching. It's just absolutely gorgeous watching slowly lighting up. And it's just absolutely, I think, if you go, I think you end up seeing it more than once. Even if you're not planning to, you'll come back. It's at 6:15 every night. So if there's a party, it doesn't matter. It's before then.
It's just once a night?
It's once a night. The castle's lit up then the entire night. So
yeah,
that you can go crazy taking pictures of and looking at every angle. It's what's nice too is, when you look at it straight ahead, everything is all lit up. And then if you go on the sides, it's sort of like with the icicles, so it's only like partly on there, so it looks like like icicles on like the side of a house where it's partly that, and then you see the rest of it. And I think that's really beautiful from the sides, and on the back they have like garlands, and it's, if you're into pictures as we all are, it's ridiculous, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it changes colors. It's blue, and then like a icy blue, and purple, and pink.
I've seen pictures, and I can't wait to see it in real life. So do you have any tips for viewing it? Like, where to be, how early to get there?
Yeah, the castle lighting show, you don't have to be there that early. I mean, if the thing is when you're there and it's not as crowded, depending, versus if you're going like Christmas week, obviously everything's going to be crowded. So I don't know how much earlier you would need, but if you want to see just like, the character part, you would be closer up, but then you wouldn't see the actual lighting. So I definitely don't recommend, unless you're going several times and you want to see more of the characters and taking pictures, but be farther back, in the hub, or even further back, because you just want the whole overview of seeing that castle. And one time we were eating at Crystal Palace, and I heard it going off, and I was able to run out and just catch that part. So anywhere, out there, you have to be in the front, though. You don't want to be on the sides or behind the castle. But you don't even have to be there that early, since you could be anywhere close up to
in that area.
Yeah.
So if people want to check for it in their times guides and things like that, it's called Cinderella's Wish.
Yeah, it's always at 6:15.
Perfect.
So
perfect. Okay.
That's awesome. I know that they have one of those. I know we're just talking about Disney World today, but I know that they have a similar one at Disneyland, but it does not sound, it's not as elaborate as what that sounds like. Like, there's not characters or anything. And it's just, and they do it, I think, actually a few times a night, where there's just kind of music and talking, and then they light it up slowly like that too. And it is really beautiful, but it doesn't, I'm sure because Cinderella Castle is so much bigger, I'm sure it's a lot more
grand.
Incredible. Yeah. I mean, I can't say anything bad about the Disneyland one. It's awesome too, but it sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. So what else is on your list, Heather?
Well, the next thing, and that's one of the things I made sure I had to see this trip, is the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights. And that is another thing that pictures and video and nothing is going to be able to do that justice, because it's just a ton of light to the whole. It's at Hollywood Studios, and it's on the streets of America, and it's both New York and San Francisco streets, and it's just everywhere lights. And the first year we went, that's all we saw, because if there's rain or something, they don't do the dancing part of it. So we're like, oh, okay, that's nice, it's lights. But the special thing is they have, I think there's about 8 different songs that they'll play. It's like every 20 minutes. And the lights, they have it, it's beautiful. It's dancing. They call it the dancing lights. And it's just, I can't even describe it, obviously, but it's just beautiful to watch. They have different Christmas songs, and it's like every 20 minutes, I think. And you just stand there and you just watch them. They go to the song, and they added a new song this year too. It's the Winter Wonderland, and I think that's one of my favorites now. I'm probably not even describing this right.
No, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I've never been, so I'm excited. That's on my top of my list of things I want to see at Disney World someday.
It's just, when you walk in and like the first time you walk and be like, okay, where am I going? And then all of a sudden you're just hit with the lights and it's just, okay, I think I'm here.
Yeah.
So it's just, they have things that say Merry Christmas and Peace on Earth, and there's a whole bunch of places where you can get great pictures. And this year they added, I'll go back to characters now, they added Stanek Goofy. So he's like in a spot in the back. So he's not affected by the dancing lights, because every time they have the lights, they don't take PhotoPass pictures, because then obviously you're not going to have the lights in your background. They could be off. But his spot isn't there, so it's just a continuous thing that he takes pictures.
I thought that was I saw that they added him this year, and I thought that was a fun thing. Some of the things that I've heard about it, because I haven't seen it, of course, is that it was started because Disney acquired the Osborne family lights from the Osbornes.
Yeah, not
Ozzy.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, but it's not.
Yeah, totally unrelated. Well, they might be related. Who knows? But
it's spelled differently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Funny. Yeah. So anyway, they acquired the lights from him because he had this whole huge spectacle set up on his house, and he had bought the neighbor's house, and some of the neighbors ended up taking him to court and making it so that he wasn't able to have his lights anymore. And when Disney heard about that, they purchased the lights from him, and they shipped all the lights down to Disney World. And at first it was in the backlot tour area.
Yeah.
And
that was
then
before I started going, but
yeah,
now
it's in the Streets of America part.
And the thing is too, they've been slowly converting the lights now to the LED lights. So yeah, so it's even more beautiful, but I don't know how much they actually have left from like his original lights. And I think I read like he had about 3 million lights in those houses.
Wow.
And now I think they're up to around 4 million. So, I mean, you can imagine. And there's a spot, it's the canopy. So you stand under it and you look up and all you see are the lights.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my favorite part.
And I heard that was new this year as well. Is that right?
I know the canopy was there last
year. Okay, maybe it was new last year, but that's part of the original collection that they just added. I guess they haven't been using all of the lights, but I heard that was part of the original collection.
And they have a new, they have PhotoPass photographers like around in certain places, and they have a new one right around there where the canopy, and so it's head on, you see the canopy, and behind that there's like a tree. The main part, I guess I forgot to talk about when they light it up originally. I think it's at around 6 is when they turn the lights on, and it's they pick a family and they come up, and they have this big light switch.
Oh,
and,
fun.
Yeah, and then they turn the lights on, and that's depending, if you want to be there for that, that's really beautiful to just see everything turn on. I mean, you can imagine 4 million lights and just
wow.
Yeah. And I saw that, I was lucky enough to see that last year, and I mean, that's really beautiful to see. It's crowded then. It's most of the time, that's the thing you have to understand with the Osborne lights, where the streets of America are, it's packed. So most of the time you're going to be like fighting against people. But this trip, I'd heard that the lights are open like an hour after the park actually closes. So we decided to go just then. So we got there, I think the park closed at 8. And so we got there like a quarter of, and we walked there, and it was pretty empty. And like I said, this trip, there's been a lot of crowds. So that's my tip, is to, if you want to go either then or you go during like when Fantasmic's going on, then it's not as crowded too. But it was, because people don't know, that they think, oh, the park's closed, I have to leave. And they don't. They've had it. I thought the PhotoPass people wouldn't be there, and I thought Goofy wouldn't be there because the park was technically closed, but they were all still out.
That is a great tip.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
So we were, usually you'll see pictures and all you see are people. So when I got pictures, there were not many people.
Oh, fun. And so you were able to get PhotoPass pictures there without people in the background. Have you seen, well, you probably haven't seen your pictures yet.
I did. That was the only thing I did was to look up to see, because last trip I actually was disappointed in a lot of my PhotoPass pictures.
Oh, no.
And like I had pictures where like there was no one behind me, but like they didn't, I was like all blown out, and I was a little disappointed. So I was thinking, I hope this one's okay. So most of my pictures this trip look better. So I know that's what I wanted to look up specifically was the Osborne light pictures, and they all came out nice. There was a spot, I don't even remember exactly where it was, but they have I think this is Merry Christmas and Peace on Earth, and there was a photographer kind of like in the corner, so you didn't even really know they were there. And so that one came out really nice too. And then that other one I was talking about where you just like head on straight, that was really nice. And they have where they have that light switch, and because it says on it Osborne lights and everything. And then they have like toy soldiers, and one of them has Mickey ears, and it's in front of looks like a tree. And that's the big place to get pictures too. So they have the PhotoPass pictures, and I mean those lines can get long. So that's another thing to think about. But since there weren't as many people there, it was pretty empty. And the funny thing was, I was going to get that picture, and it was pretty late. It was like, I think it was probably going to be closing soon. And I said, "You're still open?" He said, "Yeah." So I went up there, and I was just about to get the picture, and then it was about the lights were going to dance. Whenever that's going to happen, it's kind of like. So it sounds like a radio thing. They come on, there's people talking, and they kind of introduce it. And so that's how you know, okay, the lights are about to dance, so you can get ready. And so they weren't going to take the pictures, and they said, well, now we're dancing, so you have to dance with us. So
fun.
They did a dance. So I had to dance it was Feliz Navidad, and I just was like, when is the song going to end? I get to it. The only good thing was it was pretty cold, and so at least then I wasn't cold anymore because I was busy dancing. But it was pretty fun. I don't know if they do that all the time if you're the next person and they make you dance.
That's funny.
I can't imagine it being cold in Florida.
Oh, it was cold. I've
only been when it's like disgustingly hot.
That's the weird thing. I was there like a month earlier, and it was like so crazy hot. And then this trip, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was mostly at night, like when we went to the party, which we'll talk about later. It was pretty cold, and the morning when we left, it was cold. But I've been there when it's been colder. And I live in New Jersey, and it was colder there than it was here.
Wow.
It was. I was there. It was 2 years ago, and it was like the coldest winter they had in 30 years. And it was wind chill in the teens.
Oh goodness!
It was cold. It's not fun being there when it's that cold because you're all bundled up, and you have like all the stuff on, you have the gloves on. It's hard to take pictures,
Yeah.
I'd rather be there when I'm all bundled up and cold than when I was like melting sickly hot. Like that sounds doable to me because at least I could bundle up and sort of try and be warm.
True. I hate the cold.
But when I'm hot, you can't strip down.
Yeah.
Like you're just going to be hot.
You can only go so far before security comes, right? Okay, what other memories do you have, Heather? Was that all you wanted to say about Osborne Family Lights?
The only other thing is, I think they usually do, but I didn't see them do it when I was there, so I don't know if it was just that night or not. But they usually have that fake snow, the soap.
Yeah.
And so I know most people love it, but I'm always worried it's going to like ruin my camera because if it gets on the lens, and so I don't like that fake snow. But they usually do have that when they're doing the dancing part of the lights, and I didn't see it, so I don't know if it was just when I was there they weren't doing it, or they aren't doing it this year. I'm not sure. But
I haven't seen anything about it to know, so.
I mean, I liked it better without it, because then you could just, stand and watch it. And, I was trying to think about, like, where to recommend to watch when it's actually dancing, but I don't know if there's really a best spot, because they do it, since they do it every 20 minutes, you can catch it a couple times and just watch it from different places. Like you can watch it in the middle, and so you just keep looking around in a circle, but you can see it like all around you, and then you can go like to the end of the street and just watch it straight on, and that's another thing to watch. And it's just really remarkable watching, everybody just standing there looking up in awe. That's why I know when I was dancing it was fine, because I knew no one was looking at me. They were all looking around at the lights.
How long did you spend there?
I think, we were there a little over an hour, because we got there a little before they closed, and then they said, now this is the end, or, thank you for joining us. And so that's when we left. But I think an hour is probably what you would spend. You could be there less, you could be there more. There's a lot of things to look at. Sometimes I don't even think I catch all of it, because it's like all around the whole streets. I was lucky enough last year, I went to an event for all years, and they had like a private viewing of the Osborne lights.
Oh, fun.
And so it was just like a couple of us, and I didn't even know what to do, because I wasn't used to not having a whole ton of people there. And I don't even think I made it to like the end of the street, because I was too busy just like walking around in the front area, taking pictures and just staring. And it's, you're just going to go, and it's just beautiful. You'll love it.
I'm excited for sure. Thank you for those great tips too. This is so perfect for everybody that's heading to Disney World. It's helpful, myself included. Okay, next.
It's making me really jealous.
I know.
It's great for you people, but not so great for me. Just kidding.
To come out here one year.
Yes.
I know. Next time we go, I think we'll definitely go during the holidays. When can I know this is like in the middle of your top 10 here, but when is the holiday season at Disney World? Like when does it start and when does it end?
Well, for the Magic Kingdom is usually the first one, because they have which is my next thing. So it's the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And that starts usually like around the 9th or the 10th or so is like the first Christmas party.
The 9th of November?
November, yeah.
Oh, wow. That is early.
Yeah, that's early. Like I was there last year, and it was on Halloween through like the 4th or so of November. And the one day we were at the Magic Kingdom, and everything's, decorated for Halloween. And then we came back the next day, and everything is decorated for Christmas. So they do it pretty early, like on the 4th or so maybe is when they'll start with all their decorations in the Magic Kingdom, and it works its way to the other parks. I think this year, like at the Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, they were having it up that early also, around I think most of that stuff was done by the 9th. I'm pretty sure the Osbourne lights started on the 9th also.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's early. So that's like another thing, like you're there and it's like, it was just Halloween. Why is it Christmas here? But that's what Disney does. But they, the resorts, I know they've been just starting when, I think like around the 15th or so was when the things were, but they had been starting even earlier, some of these other resorts. So it's right around that time, I think, is when the resorts will start decorating. But the Epcot, they have everything decorated. And their entertainment and stuff, like they have the Epcot Storytellers, which I'll talk about, and the Tag and Illuminations. That doesn't start, I think, until after Thanksgiving or just before Thanksgiving. So I think it starts on like the 23rd.
Yeah, it looks like from the schedule I'm looking at, it looks like they start the Candlelight Processional and all that other stuff on the 23rd of November this year, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving's so early. That's what's throwing me off.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So Epcot waits a little bit. But most of that other stuff will start early in November. So you can catch that, and it's there for I think it's usually like the first week or so of January, you might be able to catch some of the stuff, but it's not like a definite, because I've seen sometimes where people say like the castle's lit up, and then other times they said it's not lit up. So
after the new year, it pretty much all goes away.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a slowly thing. I think they usually keep, I don't know if it's right or not, but they they usually will keep it for like about a week or so and then like start, I guess, taking it down. But I know with like the Osborne lights, they start putting them up in like the end of August. That's how long it takes to get all those lights up.
Wow.
So if you're there during the day in like September and you're like, why are these like strings of light ruining my pictures? But
I was there in September and I saw them, saw the lights up and I thought, wow, because they're just inches apart. I mean, not even inches, maybe a half an inch apart, these rows of lights. And I remember thinking that must take them forever.
Yeah, so they start that pretty early, but that's not something, that like you would see before then. But, even with the Osborne lights, it's not just even on the buildings. I mean, they have little like bicycles and like they have like a phone booth and they have like Santa or a snowman like in there, like, so they have even like all these like little things. Everything is decorated with that Osborne lights.
One thing to mention too with the Osborne lights that I've heard is that there are lots and lots of hidden Mickeys all over. Someone said that they got up to 40 something hidden Mickeys.
Oh yeah, and they also have a black cat.
Yes,
that's like a hidden there because they say that when the Jennings Osborne that they accidentally had that in there from Halloween when they gave it to Disney. That's the story. So that's always hidden there too. And the other thing I also forgot to mention about with the Osborne lights, they also have different food and drinks that you can get that they sell along there. So I think they had some kind of gingerbread hot chocolate or something, and then they have cocktails, and just they have cupcakes. They have like the cupcake like lights up and
fun.
Yeah, so they have all that kind of stuff that you can get when you're out there too. So
lots of fun memories there, for sure. Okay, what's the next thing on your list?
So the next thing I think would be the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. This I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to go this year or not because I know we're not talking about that, but the Halloween party is like my favorite Disney thing, and the Christmas party is never as fun or interesting.
Sorry about that. Click a window and all of a sudden Magic Kingdom starts playing. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, so
Halloween is your favorite party, and so you were worried?
Yeah, so because I've been to the Christmas party, and it's not something I feel like I have to go to every time, like the Halloween party. But I ended up going because, for whatever reason, the first 3 parties this year sold out. And usually, like, closer to Christmas, they'll sell out. But the first 3 parties sold out. So I was nervous thinking, what if I wanted to go and then I couldn't go? So I ended up getting the tickets. And I'm really glad I did because there weren't that many people there, which I was surprised about. I thought that one was going to sell out also. But luckily it didn't. And if you've never gone before, you definitely have to go. It's just, I don't know if it's like a repeat thing that you always have to go to. Like when I do the Halloween party, I'll go like twice during the trip because there's so much to do with the characters and everything. It's hard to catch everything in one party. But with the Christmas party, there's not as much, but it's still definitely something you have to do. There's, everything, obviously, as I was talking about with the castle lighting and everything, you don't have to go to a party. So if you just want to see that, you won't have to go. They have the parade, and it's a long parade. It's like 20 minutes or more than that. Wow. So it's a really good parade. But if you're going later in December, so like around Christmas to the end of the year, they don't have the party anymore, and they have the parade and the fireworks, so you would see it for free. So if you're going and you're catching it at that point, and you're just kind of concerned about the parade or fireworks, you wouldn't have to go because they do it during the day once it gets really crowded. So that's like if that's the only thing you're thinking about. But the parade has, like all the characters. They have the gingerbread. They have those really cool toy soldiers. I think they have that in the Disneyland parade too, don't they? Those toy soldiers. Yeah, so that's my favorite part of the parade. And
Me
of course,
too.
then, yeah. And
at Disney World, did the toy soldiers like play their horns?
Yeah. They
Yeah,
fly
I love that.
And they, whatever, and they like look right at you, and
Yeah.
that's really fun. And they have, the ones on skates and on skis and all that stuff. And it ends with Santa, of course. The weird thing this year was the thing that would say the name of the parade, the Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. Like, it used to be in the front, and this year it was like the very last thing. So Santa wasn't the last thing; it was the thing that said the parade. That was a little odd, but it's a really cute parade. So I definitely. And if you're going, they have 2 parades. There's one, I think it's like 8:15, and then one at 10:30. And I always recommend you go to the second parade because it's not as crowded. Because usually people will leave after the fireworks. So, although sometimes I'll do the first parade because I get paranoid if it's going to rain or something's wrong with my camera, which I had a problem one year. So, depending. But the second parade's the easiest one to be able to get a good spot for and not have to wait like an hour. Like, I never understand. Well, I'll go into a party and there will be people, like the party starts at 7. So there'll be like people waiting on Main Street, like then for even before the party actually starts. It's just, you're wasting your time. When you have a party, you do the stuff that has to do with the party. Don't just sit around and wait the whole time,
Yeah.
So, but I should probably talk about what the time, like I said, it's 4 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock, but you can get in at 4 with your party ticket. That's what they also do for the Halloween party.
Yeah.
So you could always, depending with how many park days you have on your ticket, you can get one less park day and spend the day doing something else like downtown or the resorts, and then come to the Magic Kingdom at 4 and get in and stay there until midnight, which is when the party ends. So you can get a pretty good day in if you want to get one less day on your park pass.
Cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. No, there's so much to do at the party, so I'm trying not to talk on and on.
No, tell me about, one of the questions I had about the party is the fireworks show, because when I was down there and saw the fireworks show for the Halloween party, it was pretty amazing. And then I saw the fireworks show at the Halloween party in Disneyland, which I probably would prefer over the one in Disney World. So I'm wondering about the fireworks show in the Christmas party.
At the Halloween party, I think are the best that Disney has, so I love them. And so this one I don't think is as good, but they are really good. The party and the parade and the fireworks are really the main thing for the parties. And they have the Christmas music and they have things on the castle the Nutcracker and hearts and that kind of stuff. And Tinkerbell actually flies from the castle. She doesn't do that for the Halloween party, but for these fireworks, she does. And the fireworks are really good. I like it a lot better than Wishes. So I definitely recommend the fireworks. They also have when they do the 360, degree fireworks with all around you. Mm-hmm. They do that, I think, twice. And I'm sure they had it. I didn't remember it from past years, but they had it during this show. So I don't remember if they just added it or I just forgot. But they're really good fireworks.
Is it all to Christmas music and?
Yeah, it's all Christmas music and
they do that at Disneyland too. It's not they don't have a Christmas party there, but I love just fireworks with Christmas music. There's just something magical about that.
And then you throw Disney in there too. What more could you ask for, right?
Perfect.
There's one point during they're playing "Oh Christmas Tree," and then with the fireworks, the way they go up, so it makes it look like a Christmas tree, over the castle. Wow. So that's really cool part of the show.
Very fun.
So then for me, during the parties, I love meeting the characters, obviously. And that's one of the reasons why I wasn't sure whether I was going to go, because they didn't really have anybody new. But they do have, I think they started this last year, they have Cinderella, Prince Charming, and Lady Tremaine, Drizella, and Anastasia, and they all meet together.
Oh, wow.
So that's a really cool photo op. That's the thing with the parties. You'll get interesting, the characters will be in different costumes or ones that are never out. But the only ones really that are never out that are at the Christmas party are Scrooge McDuck. So he wasn't there last year, but they brought him back, which is good because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's my husband's number one favorite Disney character of like all time is Scrooge McDuck. And so whenever he sees people's pictures from the Christmas party, he like turns immediately green with envy. Like he can't stand that we don't have Scrooge McDuck at Disneyland, that we've never been able to see him. Like I don't know what he would do if he got to meet Scrooge McDuck. And he's an adult man. Like, he's not a kid. Like he would flip out like a little boy if he saw Scrooge McDuck, I think.
Disney has a way of doing that to all of us, I think, in one way or another.
They used to have him out like during the day at Magic Kingdom, and that's actually when I met him, was a couple years ago, and they would have him switch out with Donald, who was like in a lumberjack thing, because it was supposed to be like his Christmas tree lot, and it was really cute, but then I think they got rid of that last year, and then they didn't have Scrooge meet at the party, and I think people were really upset about it. So they at least have Scrooge back at the party. So if you want to meet him, now you have to come out here, Britt.
Yeah.
And you can meet him. So
I know it's like reason 922 that we need to go to Disney World during the holidays.
They also had Peter, Pan, and Wendy out together, and they had scarves on. That's how they dress them up for the holidays. Usually they put scarves around the characters. But yeah, and because Wendy doesn't meet anymore at the Magic Kingdom anyway, so if you want to meet them, no, they get rid of a lot of characters. It's disappointing, but Peter Pan is out, but not the two of them together. So they meet in front of the carousel, and that was actually the longest line I had, which was crazy because it wasn't that it was long; it was just they were very interactive and talkative. And like I got up there and they were busy talking because they play the Christmas music. They actually do that even when you're not at the party during this time. They play the Christmas music in the parks, and it was like Santa knows if you're naughty or nice. And so Peter's like talking like, I don't think I like that Santa would know whether I'm naughty or nice. Should I be on the nice list? And they were like going back and forth with this whole thing. I was just standing there, like hi. But that's a good one. And just like at the Halloween party, they have the dwarves out, the 7 dwarves, and that's pretty much the only way you can meet them is at the parties. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to go meet them because at least with the Halloween party, normally you have to get there early. Like the party starts at 7 and the line usually starts like after 5. So I was there like an hour before last year, and it was still really far back. So we had this year, I went to the Castle Lane, which was at 6:15, and so I ended up going back there. They meet by like where Splash Mountain is, and they have a whole little setup for them with the like gems and everything, So I thought it was going to be this crazy long line at 6:30, and it wasn't. And so I got in the line, and I met them. I was done by like 7:15.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know if it was someone else had told me the same thing with the first party that it wasn't that bad. So I don't know if it's just with the Christmas parties that it's easier to meet them or not. They also have like on their hats, they have like jingle bells and they have the scarves, and it's really cute. So I would say if you're going to the party and you want to meet them, like, get there, before the party starts, but it's not as crazy as it is, at least with the Halloween party, because if you're not there early, that line is insane.
For the Halloween party, I went and got in line. I had heard a tip to get in line for them right before the parade starts, the first parade. And I did that, and I only had to wait about 45 minutes, an hour. Not too bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. But that's a good time is when you go when you have the parades or the fireworks. Sometimes the characters aren't out when they have the parade. But yeah, they stay out the whole time. So
an hour to meet a character is not bad. That seems way long to me.
To meet the 7 dwarves together?
I know it's a big deal, but like I'm cracking up over here that you guys are like, it's not bad. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, I'll probably on the character show, I could tell stories for how long I waited for characters.
I can too. It's scary sometimes.
Oh, brother.
But people wait. Like I said, the Dumbo was like 100 minutes for like
line, for rides.
And for me, meeting the character and getting pictures and everything, that's way better.
You'd rather wait for that than a ride.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would never wait. Like, for what I would wait for some characters, I would never wait for most rides, But well, most people, yeah. So, I don't want to miss anything. Of course, with I keep saying Halloween, the Christmas party, Mickey and Minnie meet together in their Christmas outfits, although they're not as cute as they've had in the past. The last couple of years, they were he has like a green suit on, and she's like a red dress. So it's still cute, but it could be better. But they meet, where Mickey usually meets in Town Square, and in the building there. And I don't know, I just never see a line for Mickey, like anytime I've been there. And so when I went, there was nobody there. Like, we had a private meet and greet for them.
Wow.
It was so much fun because, like, my mom sometimes doesn't want to get in the picture, so she's like, no. And even when we were done, like, they ran over to her and they were hugging her and they're posing for pictures of her, not even standing in the spot there. And they're talking this whole thing because she had like on a bracelet. I said, that's a cute bracelet. And she was saying, Mickey got it for her and I got his pin for him. And it was, it was a ton of fun. So
do Mickey and Minnie have a different Christmas outfit for the party than they do just like during Christmas time? Or is it?
At the Magic Kingdom, they don't have a Christmas outfit like during, like, I know at Disneyland they do. They do that at the Animal Kingdom, which a couple of the characters, that's the only place you can go to see characters dressed up. They have Mickey, Minnie, and Donald, and they meet at Camp Minnie Mickey. They have their Christmas outfits, and they're the same one, at least Mickey and Minnie, that they have at Disneyland.
Like the sweaters?
Yeah, that's the same ones they were there. And
so during the day at Magic Kingdom, they're just in their normal clothes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why, but the only place you can
That's
go
weird.
is Animal Kingdom. I could talk about that later, but yeah, I don't know what the deal is. But so they have a completely different outfit, though, than that. The only reason I said that about that they could be cuter is in the past they had different ones, and they were much better. Like, Minnie had this like dress, and it was like this like red velvet thing, and then it had like white fur on like the collars and in her hat, and he had this with like a top hat and everything. It was really cute. And then I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, then they changed, and it's like she has a red dress on and he has like a green suit. It's like not that special, but
Not as fancy.
Yeah, it's not as fancy. But I'm trying to think with I'm going to forget something and I'm going to be mad at myself later.
They do snow on Main Street too during the parade
Yeah.
of the party, right?
Yeah, they do the snow.
Or the whole night?
It's not the whole night, but it's most of the night. Like, it'll start and then it'll stop, and but they do it during the parade, and it's only on Main Street. So it is pretty. Like I said, I hate it for my camera, but it's pretty to see, because we watch the parade from when you like first enter the park, and it was still snowing from like over there.
That's a fun thing. So you watched the parade down by the train station, kind of?
Yeah, I like watching it from there because you get to see like the parade come, and then like they go in front of you, and then you can see it from behind, so you get like a lot of different angles. And if you're going to watch from Main Street, you have to be there early, and I think that's ridiculous to waste time doing that. If you don't want to wait that long, you can go to Frontierland when the parade starts. So usually there, it's easier to get a last minute or not having to wait too long. 15, 20 minutes, whatever, if you want to do that. But most people like try to go on Main Street or at the hub, and you can imagine how that can get. So I try to stay away from all those crowds.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. They also have a couple of shows. They have like a castle show with Mickey and all the characters, and it's like I think 3 times during the party, and I didn't catch it this year, which I meant to. But when you're at the party, it's like all the different stuff you're trying to do.
Yeah, not enough time.
Yeah, so it's it's called the Celebrate the Season Castle Show, and there's a whole bunch of the characters. There's like a Nutcracker section. There's, I think a lot of the characters that are in the parade are in that too. So, it's a cute show. It's not like something you have to see more than once, I think. But that's...
Sorry, is it like... I know during because I've been to the Halloween party there, and they have like the characters that are in the show, then you can meet them after. Is it like that, where there's characters to meet after the show, or it's just the show?
It's just the show. That's why, it's, to me, it's not like as fun as with, like you said, the villains mix and mingle at the Halloween party. Then they all come down, and they don't do that. They just do the show and leave. But they also have in Tomorrowland a Christmas show, and that has like Stitch and like Buzz, and I actually never caught that, and I don't know why, but that one is several more times. So, and I think both of these shows, like when I was saying how towards the end of December, you can see it during the actual day when they change it. So I know the Tomorrowland show they do that with. I'm not 100% sure about the castle show, but and then they also have the dance parties for, where they have with characters, which is so hard if you're like a character hunter. It's like, because they're busy. I know Britt and I had that experience at the Halloween party.
Yes, we did.
We have, and it's the same characters that they actually have for the Halloween party. They have the Diamond Horseshoe in Frontierland. They have Bullseye and Woody and Jessie. And in Tomorrowland, it's a new one. It's called Club Tinsel, and it's the Cosmic Rays, and it's Goofy and Chip and Dale and Pluto. And, they have the dance, and it's great for the kids, can run around and everything. But if you're trying to meet the characters, it's not like a real meet and greet. So, like, they won't just stand there and pose for you for a picture. It could be kind of hard getting a picture. Like, I had a couple of years ago at the Halloween party, I was trying to catch them at the Tomorrowland one. And, like, the second they would get a picture, like, they would turn around and start dancing with someone else. And it's just, it's a really hard thing if you're just trying to get a picture with them. You have to be really patient.
Or really fast. It's not the best place to meet characters. They're super fun to dance with the characters. Like, the kids love that so much, but it's not like the best place to try and get a picture with the character. Next to impossible, I would say.
I was there last year with a couple of friends, Tanya, who's also on the team, and she wanted to meet Bullseye, and it was the same thing, that he was like so fast, and I'm like, we're not leaving until you get this picture, finally got it.
Go dance in front of him and smile and hope someone catches the picture.
That's exactly what you have to do.
How funny.
The other thing with the party is they have the free hot chocolate and cookies, and they have apples and I think apple juice, but it's you can get as much as you want, and it's free. So it's like with the Halloween party, you trick or treat. That's what you do here,
right?
Fun.
So it's
super
like
fun.
When I was there, it was so cold. I had like 3 of them.
So what other things do you have on your list?
Well, the resorts, they all decorate for the holidays. And like, it depends on where you stay. You'll see the value or the moderates, like you can see that. But no matter where you're staying, you have to go to the deluxe resorts because they're the ones that, really go over the top. And the big one, obviously, is the Grand Floridian. They have the gingerbread house, huge gingerbread house. I forget how exactly tall it is. But and the fun thing is usually you'll be coming in by the monorail, so you're above it and you can look down, and I think that's a really neat angle to like look at everything because they have a gorgeous tree, huge tree, and they have like a lot of little trees, and it's like a fun overview of it. And they have even like the smoke coming out of the chimney and everything. So but yeah, that's probably like the biggest of all the resorts. They sell stuff inside the house. They sell shingles for the house, gingerbread shingles, I don't recommend them.
Oh, really?
Someone had told me this and said they don't taste good, but when you're there, you think I'm going to get it anyway, and you don't. It tastes like sawdust. It's
nasty.
I don't know why, but
it's more like a souvenir, not so much to eat it. Maybe
it's supposed to eat it, but unless they change the recipe,
souvenir.
It is. And they sell a bunch of other stuff. They sell gingerbread houses and cookies and whatever. But it's definitely something that you have to go to. It's like if you go to the Magic Kingdom and then you can spend that at some point during the day, go on the monorail, and you can go to all those resorts. Because the Polynesian doesn't really have anything special. I mean, they have a tree, I guess, but it's not something if you need to skip a resort, you can skip that one. But the Contemporary has a display also, and they have a tree made out of the gingerbread. And the only thing is it's kind of behind where they sell stuff. They sell you cookies. They have gingerbread houses. They have the gingerbread that looks like the Contemporary, but it has a monorail in it. So that's really cute.
Fun.
But it's a little weird how their register and everything is in front of where the thing is, so that's a little disappointing. But so those are the monorail ones. And I don't know, do you have any other questions about the? I was
gonna make a note that I googled it really quick, and the gingerbread house in the Grand Floridian is 16 feet tall. It says.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and it's, all sides. And there's little when you look in it, they have little scenes and stuff. It's not just the house, it's they have a sofa, and I know that it had Mickey's on it, and chocolate, Santas and all that kind of.
Sorry, this is a dumb newbie question, but it's real. It's not it's real gingerbread. They make it.
They make and I think I just finished that during my trip, and they have the house is made of wood, and then they put the gingerbread. They do it overnight. They do this at all the resorts. You can go to sleep and there's nothing, and then you'll wake up the next day and the whole thing is decorated for Christmas.
Wow.
In the Magic Kingdom area, the Wilderness Lodge, they don't have any gingerbread displays, but their tree is gorgeous. And that whole, the lobby, if you've been to the Wilderness Lodge, it's really beautiful how they decorate that. So you should try to, do all the Magic Kingdom ones at one time, and then when you're somewhere else, do the other ones. But they also have the Fort Wilderness. I was going to have that as another one of my top 10 lists, but they have people have their own campers and stuff there at the Fort Wilderness Lodge, and not Fort Wilderness Lodge, and
Fort Wilderness Campground.
Yeah. And I told you I was nervous.
You're fine.
The people decorate their campers for Christmas, and people would think Disney did it, but it's
really
the people, and it's pretty spectacular. You can go and see all of them, and I recommend doing that once. We had the Hoop-Dee-Doo review one time, and so then that same night we went and we looked at all of that. So it's really cute how everybody can have that set up, and I've heard they're starting to do that for Halloween too, the people who are there.
Oh, fun.
Wow. That's so fun.
Yeah, people go all out. So
I want to be one of those people. That sounds fun.
Almost worth camping.
Yeah. In a camper. Come on, that's not camping.
Okay. I think so, but hey, we can disagree on that one.
Okay. Sounds fun to me.
Yeah.
But those are all the ones around the Magic Kingdom. And then at Epcot, you can go all around the resorts there. And my favorite is at the Beach Club. They have a huge carousel. It's a life-size carousel made of, the horses are made of chocolate, and there's also the gingerbread carousel. And there's, it goes around in a circle, and I think that's, of all the gingerbread and things, that's my favorite one. And each horse is themed differently. There's a Liberty one, so it's all with America stuff. And then they also have a horse that's separate, and that one usually changes. This year it's called Splash, and it had a beach castle on the saddle, on top of it, and they had like characters around like its neck, and then they have like a gingerbread castle like in a corner, and they had like a chocolate Minnie in front of it. She was dressed up like a Victorian thing, and they had one that was like the lighthouse that they have out by like the Yacht and Beach Club. They had that in another corner. They have all like the little characters going around the bottom of the carousel, and a lot of these gingerbread displays. They also have hidden Mickeys. So I'm trying to remember now this year how many I think there was 16 this year. They have in the front, they always have like a list, and it tells you what they have to make it, like how many pounds of flour and all that kind of stuff. And there they tell you how many hidden Mickeys there are. So you can spend time looking around the whole thing, seeing all the hidden Mickeys. And then they have a place that sells stuff, of course. And they also have like a little movie that it condenses. I think it took 10 hours to put it together, and so it condenses it into like 15 seconds. So you can watch that. And
cool.
They have like the trees. Even though they have the gingerbread displays, they all have the trees that are themed to the resort. So that's fun. And the boardwalk has like a gazebo gingerbread, and Stitch I don't know if it wasn't completed yet, because usually they have like a Stitch character there, and I didn't see it this year. I was there like the first day that it had opened, so I don't know, maybe it wasn't done yet. But there's like a chimney, and so like Donald's dressed as Santa, so he's like his butt is hanging out of the chimney, and so it's cute. And they also sell things there. They sell, like the gingerbread and a couple other things. But that one is a cute one. And then at the yacht club, they have like a real train, and it's I don't know, they don't have a gingerbread thing. Although every year they say they're going to, and they probably had it this year because I didn't go. So I'm not sure if they ended up adding one this year, but they have like a train going through like a winter, scene, and it's cute to go and look at. They have like the different restaurants and stuff that are at the resorts, so they're like on the train there. And then the other thing is the Swan and Dolphin. It's not technically a Disney property, but it's in that same area. All you have to do is you walk around, in a circle, and you can catch all of these. And one of the resorts has this huge tree with white poinsettias, and so it's really pretty. And the other one, I'm not sure what the Swan and the Dolphin, which the other one has a huge Santa display. He's completely made out of chocolate.
Oh,
and that's a really cool one to see. So don't skip the Swan and Dolphin when you go.
It's good to know. I probably would have.
yeah.
And the other thing is too, but wherever they have like the gingerbread displays, I'm like collecting pins. So they have a special pin for the gingerbreads houses or displays from these resorts.
Oh.
And they sell out really quickly, because I've been there like the first week of December and they were already sold out. And because they start selling them like when I was there, I think like the 16th or something. And I went to the boardwalk on like the next day, and she said you got one of the last ones.
Oh.
So they could sell out quickly. And each resort too, even if it's a deluxe value, it doesn't matter. Every resort, they have a special holiday pin, and they change each year. This year they're like a mailbox. And then it has a different character on it, and it says, the resort, and it says, the holidays 2012. So that's a thing you can collect too if you like pins.
So do you get those in the gift shops at the resorts?
Yeah, the gift shops. I think most of them have more than one, but they don't sell it like right by the gingerbread thing. But they're in the gift shop. And the Pinch place downtown, Pin Station, they have not the gingerbread ones, but the other ones. You can get most of them there also.
Okay. Good tips.
Yeah, really good tips. It seems like there's just so much. So much to do. Like you could go. Oh, sorry, I just hit my microphone. You could go. I'm talking with my hands. I did a Steph there.
You did a Steph.
Like you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm like trying to like show you, and I'm like you can't see it.
People can hear it when I talk with my hands because I bang my microphone quite often.
I pulled a Steph, but so it just seems like you could go for so long and only see the special holiday stuff and not do all the regular stuff, you know?
That's one reason you keep coming back.
Yep.
Smart Disney. Aren't they smart?
They hook us in. They do. Do you have some other things that we can go over off of your list?
Yeah, I'll try to be quicker.
Yeah, maybe.
Much. But I'll just go maybe by park. Maybe that's easier.
Good
like
idea.
at Epcot, we like sort of talked about it earlier. They have probably the main thing is the Kindling Processional,
which is no, it's not a hard ticket event. You wait in line for that one.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can wait in a crazy long line. You know, it takes place in America, and I've seen the line go like all the way past like Germany, and it can get crazy. They have a celebrity that reads the Christmas story, and then they have the choirs behind them. So if it's a more popular celebrity, it can get even crazier, the lines. And they have you can get a dinner package from, any of the Epcot, World Showcase restaurants, and then that will get you in so you don't have to wait in the crazy long line. You just wait in another line, but you're guaranteed a seat, and you also get, I think, illuminations, like a special place to view it from. But you don't even have to do any of that. If you just want to hear it, if you're just in the America area, you can hear the show, so you don't have to go through any of that. If you have to see it, sometimes you can just stand behind, depending on how many people there are. Like I was there one year, they had Jodie Benson, from The Little Mermaid, and so I just wanted to take a couple of pictures, and a guy was standing there, and he was like, "Yeah, you can." So I just came in and snapped a couple of pictures and walked out, and you can listen to it from any of that seating, where the fountain is. A lot of people sit around there. So unless you have to see it, you don't have to stand in that crazy line.
Right.
Have you stood in line? Like, is it worth it? Would you recommend it? I know I've never been to the one at Disneyland because they also have a candlelight processional, but I've never been to it. I've never really wanted to go. I don't know. Would you recommend it?
For me, also, it's not something that I would need to see, so I never have. I've just heard it sometimes and seen it. Sometimes I've been walking in the area. Usually you can walk up and see it, so I've seen bits and pieces. I know a lot of people who say it's beautiful and it's a must-do that you have to.
Yeah.
But,
some people really are, they really love it at Disneyland too. It's their favorite thing, but to me, I've never been super interested, but it seems okay.
Yeah. Because last year a friend of mine was able to get me in, and so I was like, okay, I'll go watch, and it was with Neil Patrick Harris. So that was one of those crazy long line things. So just as it was going to start, it started pouring.
Oh, no.
And crazy pouring. And I've sat through rain before, so it's not a problem, but I just wanted to take pictures, and I had a party we were going to at night. It's another all ears event, and so I just didn't want to get soaked, so I ended up not staying, and I stood under cover in America, so I heard it. And the funny thing was there's 3 shows a night, and it's the same celebrity. And the celebrity does, I think, a couple of shows, and then it's another celebrity. But every show that he did that night, just as he was about to start, it started pouring.
Aww.
But it's, like Britt was saying, for some people, it's that must do. For me, it's never been something I've had to do, but I've just kind of seen it in passing. And they have school choirs, so and the Voices of Liberty, they're in it, and the way they have it set up, there looks like a Christmas tree behind them, and it's just a really pretty thing to see. But for me, it's not something I have to do.
I'll let you guys know because we're doing a dining package for it, so I'll let you know what I think of it.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because here's the reason we're doing the dining package, because we never plan early enough our trips that I can get ADRs for any of the restaurants we want to go to. And Le Cellier is one of my husband's favorite restaurants. The only way we could get in there was to do a dining package for the Candlelight Processional. So
I almost did that a couple of years ago. It was the same thing. That's my favorite place to eat, actually, is Le Cellier. And, it's so hard to get in. And so I thought maybe I'll get the Candlelight Processional package, and that one was sold out too. So I was out of luck.
yeah.
I'm sure you'll like it. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I'll let everyone know what I think, if I think it's worth it.
But the other big thing at Epcot is they have the holiday storytellers at each country. So it's a fun little thing. It's to go to. It's about like a 10 or 15 minute thing for each country, and they tell you about like how they celebrate the holiday or their traditions or a holiday around it. Because obviously a lot of the countries don't celebrate Christmas, so it's like other holidays, and you can also meet them after the show, and that's not like a lot of people don't do it, so it's pretty easy to do. And so I was trying to meet all of them. I think there's 3 still I haven't met because it's impossible to see it all in one day.
Yeah.
You have to split it over a couple of days, especially with how it's timed when they have their shows. But that's a fun thing to see, and you don't really have to plan too much. You could just go, and you might even see them and then just like walk up and start listening to it. And the America has the 2. It has both Hanukkah and Kwanzaa there, and all the other countries have one. I think my favorite is the one in France. I think that's a fun one. And if you're get a picture with them, I think the best one is in Germany, because at the end, it's a spoiler, but they come out with this huge nutcracker. So you get the picture with the storyteller and the nutcracker. So that one's fun. Yeah, that most people get a picture with.
See, that sounds so fun to me. Like seeing each country's like how they celebrate like that. That appeals to me a lot.
It's like interesting. Sometimes like I didn't even know like where they came from, like some of these traditions, and then it was from that. 'Cause like, oh, that's pretty interesting. That's where it came from. Like one of the things with Germany is like the Advent calendar, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So you see, it's Disney's educational. So
do they have the times listed for those in the times guides that you pick up on your way in?
Yeah, they have the times listed there, and I can't remember if they have it. Each country, they have the spot where they do it, their storytelling, and they usually have like a little setup. Sometimes they have a tree or other things. I can't remember if they have. I think they have it on that little. They have a plaque there that also tells you about the storyteller, and I think they do list the times there. This doesn't start until like Thanksgiving, so I didn't get to go this year, so I can't remember exactly, but I think they have them there also. And they usually start in the afternoon, maybe around 1, depending. Some of them start later, and then they go later, so that's why it's hard to like catch them all, But if you could do a couple different days of your trip, you can catch more. And then in America, they have Santa and Mrs. Claus meet, and they're really good ones too. It's not like a bad mall Santa or anything. They look really good. So you can meet them together in America. So that's another cute
fun.
That. And all the parks have the trees, and Epcot actually has 2 trees because they have one in America, like where the fountain usually is. They have the tree, and then they have the main tree when you're coming into the World Showcase. And they actually have topiaries and stuff too at the Epcot that are like dressed up for the holidays. They have like Santa hats on, and like Mickey and Minnie when you're coming into the World Showcase. And in the front they have Donald and Goofy, and there's like Stitch by Mission Space. So
fun.
And almost forgot about Illuminations. They have a special tag at the end for the holidays, and I think that makes that show so much more spectacular because there's so much fireworks and stuff that they add at the end. They have like different song at the end. They have the holiday thing. So I definitely, because Illuminations isn't my favorite thing. Like I don't see it every trip, but I would always see the special holiday version of it.
That's good to know. For sure.
Yeah.
Because I usually tend to skip Illuminations as well.
Yeah, it's like if I was there, it's it's one of those things like I don't want to stand around and wait for, all the time. So like, when I was there last trip, it was Epcot's 30th anniversary. So they had a special tag for that, and that was amazing. It was like you felt the ground moving. Like I think most of us couldn't hear for a couple of days after. Like that's how much fireworks they had at the end there. So I think when they add those special tags for like holidays and stuff, that's a must see. But
right.
I just love the Illuminations music, like the score. And so I know it's not like the best fireworks show and like it kind of gets boring in the middle, but the music does something to me. So it's like one that I know people say, oh, I don't really need to go to it, but I always want to go to Illuminations.
No, I agree about the music. I love that music too.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What other things do you have for us? What parks have we not hit? Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom. I think they have like the most fun secret thing that most people don't know. They have by Camp Minnie Mickey. So I don't know if they have the Avatar Land. If they end up doing that, they're going to like get rid of Camp Minnie Mickey. So I'm hoping that ends up not happening. But they have trees that are themed for different characters, and they're all really cute. They have like Mickey obviously, and Minnie, and Pluto, and they have like the country bears, Nemo, the Lion King, but like all these characters, and you just go around like looking at all the trees, and it's not really like an in-your-face thing. So I think sometimes people don't even pay attention, which is sad. But they're all really cute, and they're so well themed for each character. So
are they like big trees or little trees or?
Yeah, they're like little. They're not like the huge main tree.
Yeah.
When you go to when you come into the Animal Kingdom, they have their huge main tree, which is really nice too. And they have a cute photo pass magic shot there where like they give you a present and then like Stitch pops out of it when they add it. So there's like a cute photo thing you can get. But the trees are like the regular sized trees. But they're all really cute. And that's the area too where the characters dress up. So like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, they all dress up. And over in Dinoland, Santa Goofy, just like you can meet at Osborne Lights, but Osborne Lights, they have the better backdrop, and Pluto meets there. And then the Pooh characters, they usually dress up also, so you can get characters dressed up there. That's the only, I don't know why, but that's the only park where during normal hours characters are dressed up.
It's so weird to me.
So different than what you're used to, right?
I'm just so used to, Disneyland characters just are always in their Christmas outfits, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing, for Halloween. They don't dress up, and it's only
during the day.
Yeah, at the
Weird.
Animal Kingdom is the only place where they dress up a couple days before.
Huh.
So it's
good to know.
Yeah.
And also at the Animal Kingdom, they have the parade, which is basically like the regular parade, but it has like a different overlay in the music. And that's my favorite daytime parade anyway, is the Animal Kingdom parade. So I definitely recommend seeing that parade. It's really cute, how they have like one of the floats that has like a naughty or nice list and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cute parade. So that's every day.
Cool. That's true. Now, do they call it? I want to say Jingle Jangle, but it's
Jingle Jungle.
Jingle Jungle. Okay.
Yeah, it's the fun music, and it's basically the same parade, just like with a different overlay for the holidays, but it's still cute.
That's fun. Yeah. Anything else at Animal Kingdom that we need to hit if we're heading down there during the holidays?
I think that should be it, the Animal Kingdom. I hope I don't forget anything, but I think that's it.
If you do, you can always come put it in the comments.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's I didn't even make it there this trip because it was so short. So, but
I can't believe how much you were able to do in such a short time because you were only there for the weekend, right?
Yeah. So I was only there like 2 full days, and then we got in left, and we were there for the new Fantasyland. So I was in the Animal Kingdom a lot and Magic Kingdom. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think I was going to be able to fit what I did, but we were able to go to see the castle, the Osbourne lights. We went to some of the resorts. I didn't get a chance to go to the Magic Kingdom resorts. So, but just the thing is, they're usually the same from year to year. It's not much changes when you see the things at like the resorts.
So if you don't get it this year, you can get it next year, right?
Yeah, they will always have that gingerbread house.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I think we're ready to move into the Picks with Pixie Dust. Before we do that, though, let's mention that if other people have things that, they've loved to do at Disney World during the holidays, memories created or ways that they were able to capture them, please come and share with us in the comments at capturingmagic.me. And then also we have an email address set up that you can email us comments or questions at mail@capturingmagic.me. So now we'll move into the Picks with Pixie Dust.
Kate, can I ask one question before we move
sorry.
I just want to ask, Heather, when during the holidays do you recommend people go? Like, is there a time that's busier than others that you should avoid? Or, I assume like the week of Christmas is probably the craziest, but
yeah. I would say like the beginning of December, like if you go one of those first 2 weeks, as long as you go like after Thanksgiving, and I've been there. Usually we will go like the first or second week in December, and it's not as bad. Like when we were there, it was just before, it's just Thanksgiving week, and I didn't really run into crowds that much other than on our last day when it was just like wall-to-wall people at the Magic Kingdom. But it's crazy then, and obviously from that week of Christmas to New Year's, I was there when my birthday's the 19th, so I wanted to go to the Magic Kingdom on my birthday because, like, where else would I go? And I knew it would be crazy. It was like the Sunday before Christmas, and I've never seen so many people. It was just like all people on Main Street at like noon. It was insane. But if you can avoid it, I mean, I know a lot of people that's the only time you can go. Mm-hmm. But if you go in knowing that you're going to deal, like when I was there yesterday, I was talking to someone and they're like, oh yeah, the crowds aren't going to be that bad. It's Thanksgiving week. Like, yeah. Why? So if you go in knowing you're going to deal with crowds and you have a plan and get there at rope drop, and the good thing is, like I said, with the resorts, you can go downtown Disney. They have like a tree, they have like cute snowmen thing you can take pictures with. They actually have Santa meets down there also at downtown Disney, and once Christmas is past, they have Stanek Goofy there. So there's other places you can go other than a park if you like need to get away from like all the people. Yeah. But it's really, it's so beautiful. Try to just like look around, and I mean, on the main street with all the garlands, and I think that it's just such a beautiful view when you see all the garlands, and then the castle, especially at night when it's lit up.
Now, one of my favorite times to go for the holidays at Disneyland is catching it that week right after New Year's, like right kind of at the end before they take it all down, just because I feel like the crowd level is the best. And in my personal life, like Christmas is over, things are calming down, and then I can go on vacation. So have you been to Disney World that week, like that first week of January? January
is one of the few months I haven't been there, but I do know that people, when they have gone, have said the same thing, that the crowds are better, and most of the decorations and stuff should be up.
I think that I read that it stays up just like that first few days, like till the 6th or something. I don't know. I don't expect everything to be like as elaborate as Christmas, but that, the week of Christmas.
I mean, that would definitely be a good time. January is one of the few slow times at Disney World. The only reason I don't go in January is because we go in December a lot, so I haven't done that. Like one of the few months that I haven't been at Disney World. Okay. But but that is a good time. But if you're going, in December, definitely like the first week or two. The only thing is they have, a lot of people always make a thing about, they have a Pop Warner like tournament like the first week of December or something, and people are always concerned about it, but I've never had a problem with them because it's not usually in the parks, so it's sometimes if it's at your resort, people can have so many loud cheering or whatever, I don't know, but I don't think that really makes that big a deal crowd-wise.
Yeah, I always recommend for people to check out touringplans.com and check the crowd calendars. That's anytime I'm planning a trip, that's what I do. Do you use them, Heather?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I use. That's why when I did this trip last minute, and it was like the first day it was like a 3, and then the whole rest of the time were 9s and 10s, and no, what have I gotten myself into? But it wasn't too bad because I know like which park to go to, and trying to stay away from it. But when it's so crowded, it's kind of impossible.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during the holidays. So, okay, are we ready for picks now?
Yeah, sorry. I just had to interject my one question.
No, you're fine.
The only other thing I was going to say about with a couple of characters, I said about that you couldn't meet any, but I just thought of 2 that are Christmassy at Epcot. Duffy meets in the Christmas thing during the day.
Oh, okay.
So you can meet him, and he's also at the party, but he's there. And Phineas and Ferb at Hollywood Studios, they have like scarves and the Santa hat.
Fun.
So you can meet them during the day. And at the Swan and Dolphin, they have, I think it's only on the weekend, but they have like Santa and Mrs. Claus in like a vacation, because it's supposed to be their vacation resort. So they're in like beach outfits. I've never been able to catch them, but
funny.
I got an email about that last night because we're actually staying there one night when we go down there. And so it's supposed to be, Santa's favorite resort to hang out at when he's on vacation, and so they're there.
When California Adventure was more like beach California themed, I remember Santa met like that as well there, like kind of like in his swim trunks and
fun
Hawaiian shirt kind of look. Yeah. I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah, super fun. Okay, now we're going to move into picks with pixie dust. Brittney, do you have one for us?
Yes, I just have a blog post that I found recently on DisneyTouristBlog.com. It's a blog that is written by Tom and Sarah Bricker. I don't know if you guys have heard of them or not, but they basically just write about both Disneyland and Disney World, and they kind of give reviews about resorts and tips for basically being a Disney tourist, which is really fun. Anyway, they have a great post called Disney World Christmas card photo locations, and they list their top 5 spots to take great Christmas card photos at Disney World. And so I thought, since we're talking about Christmas and holidays at Disney World, that would be a great post for people to check out and be able to take a really cute family photo for your Christmas card. And they're like top spots.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like take their Christmas card pictures at Disney. There's so many cute spots and the cute hats you can get. And
it's great because your whole family could be in the picture because you could just have the photo pass people take it or whatever. So it's a really cute little post that they've written, and they show examples of their cute family or cute Christmas card photos they've taken around the parks. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes, and you guys can see those top spots for Christmas card photos.
Perfect. Heather, do you have a pick?
Yeah, I have an app. It's called PicFrame, and there's a couple of apps that you can get to put like a collage of your pictures, and then you can put it on Instagram or whatever. But that's the one I use. I've tried a couple, and it's when I was on my trip, and I was doing that when we were eating dinner, and someone had asked me, "Well, what do you use?" And so I thought I'll do that as my pick today. I
was wondering what you use too, so I'm glad you did use that as your pick.
I use that one too. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think I probably got the recommendation from you because I tried a couple, and I don't really like the other ones, and I don't really like to pay for apps if I can help it. So I think I might have even gotten this one. It was like on sale for free. I can't remember, but it's 99 cents, so that's not bad. But
I think I got one that was free too, and then I ended up paying the extra for the labels, so you could like add your text to it. But
I like how you can make like the corners rounded.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can do a lot of stuff. But it's just because I take so many pictures and I post a lot of pictures that I don't want to, like, inundate people with, like, so many pictures. So I try sometimes to just do the little collage of pictures, like, oh, this was our dinner, and not, like, 5 pictures of the food, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a great idea. Very useful. So, okay, I had a hard time picking which pick to do because I've been researching a lot for our own trip during the holidays down to Disney World, and there's a couple of posts at EasyWDW that are really helpful for figuring out how to navigate and how to plan the Christmas party if you're going to attend that. So I'll link up to those. And then I also just purchased from touringplans.com an ebook that's all about holidays at Disney World. And Tom Bricker actually is the person that wrote it, and his photos are phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was just looking at that ebook on there as I was like picking this one. I saw that on there as well, that he wrote that and had that. Like beautiful, beautiful photography.
It is, and it's worth it to pay the price for the ebook. How much is it, Brittney? Do you see a price there? I think it was $15.
No, I've clicked away from it
I'm
now.
sorry.
So
I think I paid $15 for it is what it was, but it's a PDF ebook basically. It's worth the price just for the pictures because it's just gorgeous. I love his photography, and he writes on a few different Disney-related blogs and does a podcast as well. And so, yeah, it's great. But he also has some tips in the ebook for, you know, where to take pictures, and, you know, you can look at his pictures and figure out kind of the different angles and views, and then tips for doing some of the holiday stuff at the resorts and the park. So, yeah, I recommend that too. Those are my 2 picks. There was one other one, but now I can't think of it anymore.
I didn't know we were allowed 2 picks.
Hey, I get to do what I want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, a pick and a pick is the double pick. Yeah. So, alrighty. Let's go around, and you guys can remind our listeners where they can find you and catch up with you if they want to. Brittney.
I am at britishdesigns.com. That's where you can find my blog and my digital scrapbooking shop and all the other things we've got going on there. So that's where I'm at.
Perfect. Heather?
Well, my site is at heatherw.com/character, and on Twitter and Instagram, I'm heatherw25. So especially during trips, I tweet and Instagram a lot.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
To follow her follow her anyway, but it's so fun while she's on her trips to see all her pictures. She was getting me like so jealous while she was there this last time. All the fun things she got to do at the new Fantasyland, which we could talk for another hour and a half just about that.
We could, totally. Yep. So, okay, I'm Steph, and you can find me at thedailydigi.com and also at capturingmagic.me. If you have any comments or questions or tips that you would like to share with us, please come and do that in the comments for this show. And you can also email us at mail@capturingmagic.me. And we also need to mention our sponsor, thedailydigi.com, who sponsors this show and every show, and we're grateful for that. So if you're interested in digital scrapbooking, photography, editing your photos, anything like that, check out thedailydigi.com. So I think that's it. Thank you for being here, girls, and we will be back here next time where we will be capturing magic.